Welcome everyone. I think I'm live. I'm a few minutes late, but I had to mix all my paint over there. I'm trying to find my channel here on my phone so I can chat with you guys. There it is. There it is. Everybody's welcome today. I'm going to show you how I do my style of landscapes with acrylic paint. What is today? Today is Wednesday. I'm off tomorrow, but I have to go. Me and Lisa are playing at this Aegis. It's like a place for retirement people go when they can't live at home anymore. You got to have a lot of money to go to those places. But they also have a floor where it's for people that are losing their memory loss care. And me and Lisa, we play at probably 4 or 5 different Aegises here in town, and a new one called Empress. We play for an hour, and it helps them kind of recall. Hopefully, it helps them remember things from the past. But let me get started here. I'm going to do a landscape my style. Oh, I put in the description, the title, that this is Artist Loft paint. Okay, this is from Michaels. So every color I'm using on my palette is they still sell this one there, the level 2 Artist Loft. Okay, at Michaels. So there, I got all the earth tones in there. I'm using Mars Black. I just mixed white to make gray. I got burnt umber, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, yellow, sap green. All level 2, okay? They used to sell the level 3 Artist Loft. You probably recognize this, but the one I work at, they don't sell the level 3 anymore. So I can only get level 2, but I'm going to show you how good. It still works good. The acrylic paint works good for landscapes. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to sketch something out here. I got the back of my canvas. I put my black gesso on the back. I keep getting a lot of questions about why I do it. So the light doesn't get through when you're done with your painting. Sometimes you'll have a lot of light colors up here in your painting, dark and light, and then when you hold it in the, like if you're outside selling these in the sunlight, it looks pretty bad when the light gets through. Or I think it does. But that, putting a black coat on the back, it really makes it look good. I don't have one handy to show you, but let me get something going here so I can get going. I'm gonna try and fill in the whole thing today with cool stuff. I'm just roughing some mountains here, some kind of distant mountains back there. This is just going to be a sketch. I like to sketch it out with my knife because sometimes a lot of cool things just appear using the knife. I think I'll put some distant, some distant mountains back here. And like that. I think I'm gonna have I'll put the valley more over here on this side. I'm gonna have a hill here coming down. Look at that. It looks pretty cool already. Just a rough sketch so I know, where my sky is. And I usually just do a quick sketch. I know I'm going to have probably some trees up here, but I don't put them in because I know those are going to be trees on that hill there. But what I like to do is, let's see, I'll design some kind of like a pathway coming through here. Let me do this and see what happens. Yeah, that'll work. This will be the land on this side here. This will be a hill here. Some kind of, maybe a grassy hill there. And I got a hill back here. We'll do, it'll run maybe like a riverbed in here. We'll do a dry riverbed. I lived in New Mexico for a while, and what we had in New Mexico, because it was like a desert down there where I was, near Arizona and Mexico. So we would get these riverbeds. We used to go out there and party in the riverbeds. They were pretty deep, so I'll have to put some depth on these going down. You couldn't just jump in there. They were probably cut out a long time ago, that when water used to run through them. But they have a lot of dry riverbeds now. And that's what this is going to be. And that kind of looks like the mountains there in New Mexico. New Mexico has the very tail end of the Rocky Mountains. The last few mountains in New Mexico on the Rocky Mountains are called the Florida Mountains. If you see it on your map, you'd probably call them the Florida Mountains, but it's pronounced Florida. But it's spelled like Florida. It's the last mountain from the Rocky Mountains before you get into Mexico. It's pretty cool. I've been on that mountain quite a bit. We used to climb it a lot because there's a state park out there, and it has a lot of gemstones on that mountain. You could go up, start climbing the mountain, and you get to the top, and you'll see all these places where people were digging, and you find these big geodes. They're like round rocks, and then you take them home and you bust them open, and you got this like cool looking amethyst in there. And it used to be a big thing back in the 80s. People were like, they call them rock hounds. But I don't think it's as big as it used to be. People used to travel in their trailers back then in the 80s. They'd call them something, I forget, something birds. They'd always come down to New Mexico in the winter time, because we had like pretty good weather there all year round. Snowbirds, that's what they're called. And a lot of them, man, they were like rock hounds. They liked to collect rocks, so they'd go to the Florida mountains and they would find all these gems. And what was cool about this state park, you could take whatever you found. They let you take the gems from the state park. Isn't that cool? I lived in Las Vegas for a while, and they wouldn't let you take anything off federal land, because there was a lot of land out there that had meteorites, and you weren't allowed to go out there to try and collect meteorites, because over there in Nevada, there was a couple known meteors came down and broke into pieces, so there was meteorites everywhere, small fragments. But since it was on federal land, you couldn't take them. I'm sure people did take them though. You weren't allowed to take a metal detector. That's all, on the federal land. All right, let's talk about painting instead of rock hounds and snowbirds. But this brought back memories of living in New Mexico with the dry riverbed. Let's see if I got anybody on to make sure this is working. Whoops. I lost my there I am. I'm in there. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. I'm going to be doing a lot of cool stuff this summer. I'll be taking this is probably the last time you'll see the studio like this. It's getting all changed today. But in the summer, I'm thinking about taking this operation out into because I live in Seattle, I'm going to take it out to the parks and stuff and paint live outside. So if you like watching that kind of stuff, I'll be doing that. There's a lot of cool places I know I'm going to go, so this is, if you just tuned in, I'm using Artist Loft paint, which they still sell. They still sell it at the Michael's I go to. They don't sell the number 3 anymore. This is the level 3. They quit selling it there, and they brought in another brand. I can't think of the name of, but they do sell the Artist number 2 level at Michael's. So I'm using all this level 2 right here just to show you how good this paint works for landscapes. It's good acrylic paint. I know I got a one message once where somebody said they didn't like the Artist Loft, but they may have been talking about the level 1, which we don't sell that anymore either, I don't think. But if you're near a Michael's and you're deciding you want to give acrylic painting a try, this video kind of help you, because I'm using their paint, you know. Artist Loft. But you can choose any acrylic paint you want. So far, to me, any paint that I've used works great. Even the cheapest paint. Liquitex makes this level 1 basics acrylic that's like $4.49 for a tube of acrylic. It's really cheap, but it still works good. The only paint I wouldn't use acrylic paint is the neons. Don't get the neon paint for a landscape, okay? The neon paints are good for if you're doing abstract painting, you know, like crazy stuff. But neons, I wouldn't use them. If you're trying to make a landscape that looks kind of like nature, I wouldn't use the neon acrylics. So I'm just kind of showing you my style, how I paint with acrylic. I have many different ways I do this, but today what I'm doing, I'm just going to put the color in first, all the way from top to bottom, and then that'll be my underpaint, and then I can start designing the trees and stuff like that. Okay. So to me, what I'm doing right now is just a simple underpaint color. You can just kind of slop it on right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to get some paint onto the white canvas, underpaint. Because all this is I'm gonna put snow up there. I'm gonna put probably dirt down here, or something else, trees. Wow, that's already looking good. Let me zoom it in for you a little. That would help, huh? There we go. Wow, I already got 1 like. That's pretty good. I just started, I think. You're free to chat if you want. I'm not going to bug you, but I'll just ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. But I don't even know who subscribes to me. It doesn't, YouTube doesn't tell you that. The only time I know someone is a member. Like if you join up as a member, then I know who you are, and then eventually I'll just have member lives. This is a sap green. They're sap green. I put yellow in it to lighten it up a bit. It's kind of like every sap green is different. If you're new to painting, you're going to find out when you go to buy sap green, which sap green is really good for landscapes, okay? You can mix white in there, yellow ochre, burnt umber, and change the greenness of this. But you can see this isn't as dark as some, like Winsor and Newton. It's a little darker already. They're all different. They all have their own color. They still call it sap green, but it's, so you got to kind of find a brand that you like. Sap green. You can mix the brands. Like I can use Winsor Newton paint with this paint. You don't always have to use the same brand for the painting. If you're new to painting, you can mix companies' paints together. Look at that. Man, this is already looking cool. What's cool about acrylic, what I try and do is because I love oil paint. I'm an oil painter. But I'm trying to make this acrylic look like an oil painting, which I'm getting better at it, and it's really working. It's I'll go to sell these, and people can't tell the difference. They're coming out really good now. But that's what you want to do, or that's what I want to do, is try and make this look like an oil painting. So this is just my underpaint. I'm just trying to get all the underpaint in first. If you just joined in, this is going to be a dry riverbed. I was talking about it at the beginning, how I lived in New Mexico for a while, and they had a lot of dry rivers because, you know, I lived down south where the desert was, and the rivers were always dry. So that's what this is going to be. And I guess I'm going to have to put, if it's going to be a desert, I'm going to have to put some yucca trees in there, I guess. But you could put whatever you want in there. I'll probably end up putting evergreen trees because they're easy to make. And if this was New Mexico, we wouldn't have this big hill, green hill here. We would have the mountains, but we wouldn't have like green grass out there. It'd be all, you know, desert. I'm actually trying a little bit of this today. It's burnt sienna with black in it. I'm going to try and use it for my trees to see how good it works for like distant trees, because I usually use burnt umber and black for that. All right, so let's see, for this riverbed, I don't know what color to make it. It's usually like a sandy, yellow ochre sandy. So I'm going to try a little bit of yellow ochre and yellow. Yeah, that's about what it looked like. I have to lighten it up a bit though so we can see it. That way I can get all my underpaint done. Yeah, it was just a sandy, like, we used to ride motorcycles in there too. Dirt bikes, and I wasn't very good at it because the sand, it was hard to ride a motorcycle in a riverbed because the sand was so deep, and you could bury the back tire in the sand, and you had to know how to give it gas, and you would pretty much float on top of the sand. You had to know what you were doing, that's for sure. Took a lot of practice. So since this is going to be a riverbed, I'm going to drop some of the level down into the sand there. Ba-da-ba. So I had to work today. I worked a little bit. And then I was supposed to go to West Seattle and help somebody with some stuff in their backyard, but it was raining too much. And the weather here really took a change for the worse. It got really cold. So I'm trying to show you what I'm doing here. Like this is going to be the top. This will be like a drop off to get into the riverbed. I'm not doing a very good job, am I? But it'll look good when I'm done here. I should have made those a little darker because it's probably going to be in the shade. Yeah. There we go. That looks a little better. It's almost like a canyon is what I'm trying to do here. Make canyon walls that go down. And then this is the sand down here at the bottom. I'm trying to get this done so I can start with the trees. I've been having some fun doing these lives. I really like doing the lives. I don't have to upload. For one, I don't have to upload anything when I'm done. And the other thing is you get to see everything live. Because a lot of times I like to try and do new things. Always trying new things. Alright, well there we go. There's my riverbed. I think once I get some trees in here, it'll start making sense down there. But wow, looks pretty good. I really like that. I don't know why I got the heater on. Oh man, I wish I would have shut that up 30 minutes ago. Let's see how long it took me to do that. About 30 minutes to do the underpaint. Not bad. taking a little breather. I'm going to show you some of these functions I got here. This is supposed to make my videos more interesting, the, the bubbles. I'm trying to get YouTube, you know how they'll ask you for advice or recommendations, but like maybe put some music on this part where I can maybe turn music on, because the only thing they give me is something like this. I like the 8mm one though. That one's kind of cool. Alashi. I don't know how to say your name. Well, I see a couple people in here. Aniha and Lashi. Is that how you say it? Aliashi. Well, welcome. If you just joined in, I'm using all Artist Loft paint, level 2, okay? This is the stuff they sell at Michael's Arts and Crafts store. So if anybody's interested in learning how to paint, you can get this paint at Michael's. Real easy, okay? And I'm trying to demonstrate that the paint works good for landscapes. But you can also use any type of paint you like. There's so many different brands out there, so you have to kind of pick and choose the paint that you like. Look at that. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'm going to maybe run a small stream in here. Like it's just a very little bit of snow melt coming down through this river. So I put a little stream in here, and it's not, the snow hasn't quite melted yet, but eventually this river will fill up with water. So that's what I'll do. I kind of like this valley. Well, I'll probably put some trees back here. Let me finish my snow first. So if you wanted, this is white up here, right out of the tube. And I mixed a light blue, almost the same color as the sky, for the other side, the shady side of the mountain here. And it usually looks pretty good. Some kind of bluish color. I sometimes put gray in it, but I want the mountains to look more like blue today on this side. This is the side where the sun's not hitting, okay? So the sun's hitting more over here. And I'm just going right next to my white, right next to the white, and pulling just a little bit to the left. I'll leave some of the dark color in there because it gives the mountain some more values of color in there. You don't have to cover it all. And this is a good way to practice your knife work. The knife, it's not that difficult to learn. Just put a little bit on there at a time. You just have to put a very small amount, okay? And you'll learn how to feel what's on there and how much to scrape off. When you got like, if you want to fill in a lot, you just use the big side of the knife. Pull it down like this. Look at that. Look at that mountain. Wow. That mountain looks pretty cool. You can add, let's add like a hill in here. Like, we'll swoop a hill in here like this. And then grab some of that blue and we'll make a few cliffs underneath here. Like it's a cliff. Just pull it straight down the blue color underneath the white, and we'll make just like that. It looks like you can drive up there with your car now. See how easy I did that? Now down here I want to make it white. Real light. I'm going to grab some a wet brush with titanium white on it, and just kind of blend this down here a little. Rinse, make sure your brush is rinsed off and then it has a little water on it, just a little. A clean brush, and I'm going to lightly blend some of this. It's going to make it hopefully look like mist. There we go. All right, it's time for the snow melt now. I think I'm going to bring it from over here. Yeah. Maybe up a little higher here. So snow melt coming down. And then I'm going to have to put a little water in here eventually. Wow, that looks pretty good. Max, Zara, thank you. Hello everyone. I'm trying to keep up with the chat up there. I see you guys. Thanks. Make sure you subscribe. So if you subscribe, you'll get notified when I do my next live stream. Yeah, I appreciate it if you subscribe. I'm trying to build the channel up. So I'm gonna do some clouds here. Since these are far away, I'll show you how I do my. Sometimes I'll put like an arch right here, like this, and make them small and get bigger as I come up. It looks like the clouds will look like they're going off in the distance there. Let me just do a few here. So I put a small one here, small cloud, just a small cloud, and then start getting bigger. Make your cloud a little bigger there, and then a little bigger here. I'll just do it real quick. And then really big up there. A large cloud up here. And then it should look like they're going off. Like off into the distance there. Let me see. Yeah, it worked. So you just have to like draw a little arch there. If you want them to look like they're going off into the distance. Otherwise, you can just put the clouds anywhere you want. It doesn't matter. You could just have a free-for-all, you know. All right, that's enough clouds for now. I'll do some more in a little bit. I'll put some shadows in here. I might as well do it. I'll do a few shadows right now with light gray, because while it's wet, sometimes you want to blend this gray in while it's wet. So you could just put a little gray at the bottom of your clouds. Just a little. Just like that. Just to have like a little shadow. You could either make them dark. I start out really light, and then you can always darken them up a little later. See, you can make them look a little darker, but start out with really light and then add more darkness to it so you get a shadow. See how it looks like a shadow now underneath there? Not really a shadow, it's just that's the part of the cloud that's not getting any light. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. This is just a quick, easy way. Okay. I gotta open this window. I can't believe I had the heat on for a while. I'm gonna do some trees back here now. So here's my choices. I used some burnt sienna with black, and I usually use burnt umber with black. So here's my, this is the burnt sienna with black. I've never tried it, so I'm going to try this first for some distant trees back there. I'll start about here and I want to just make some small trees back there. Really small. Because I want it to look far, far away. Yeah, that's good enough. So that's what I used. I just mixed burnt sienna and black. Burnt sienna and a little bit of black to make it darker. Okay. And then I'll highlight the trees I put up here. And now I'm going to put some trees on this hill here. This hill's pretty close to us, so I'm going to make it a little bigger. Make some maple trees maybe. Cool. Wow, I like that. That looks pretty good. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put my main trees about here on this hill here. So I'm going to put a few shrubs right here and bring it up this hill. And I'm going to put a big tree up here. Like right here. So I got something going up into the sky over here. Let's do I'm going to do an evergreen tree. This will be a little closer to us here. Let's see. If you were about this tall here, so I'm going to make that tree pretty big. Like just barely going up into the sky here. It's going to be one of those like really tall trees. Look at that. Something like that. You can adjust your tree when you're done. Make it wider if you want. That looks pretty good. Let's do another one. I'll do a small one right next to it. That's like behind it, maybe. Just basically got to put color in there, make the top look like a tree. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? It's looking pretty good. I noticed some people left, but I should have done the trees earlier. This is the fun part, putting the trees in there. But the mountain's kind of fun too, you know. So on this side now, I'm gonna put I'll put some bushes on top of this deal right here. There's some kind of bushes here. And I think I'm gonna run a tree up here now. Maybe right maybe not so much into the a smaller one. I don't want to cover up my water line, that water thing back there. So let's put a tree right here. Just kind of make it look like a tree. I'm going to highlight. I just kind of put the color in there, and I'm going to highlight it with some color here in a second. Wow, that looks pretty good. So let's put, I'm going to put I need a smaller fan brush. Put a small tree back here. What else can I do here? It's looking pretty good. I'm really liking it. Let me see where I am on time. 52 minutes. 52 minutes. This is looking pretty good. I need a second to look at this. Oh yeah, birds. Thanks, Gen Z's 821. Thanks. I'll put some birds up there. All right. Let's see. I got a new liner brush. Liner. Cuz my old one was terrible. So I got a new one so I can make some nice twigs. Look at that. I can also put birds up here now very easily because this brush, it's brand new, so it works really good. Put an eagle. That's an eagle coming in. Wow. I gotta know, I gotta remember not to leave this in the water. See, I left my last one in the water and it bends the tip. So that's a good tip. Don't leave your liner brush in the water. Yeah, all right, I'll do some more twigs later, but let me finish up the painting. highlight these for you. I'm going to try and make it look like the light's hitting this one side. Put a dress. I call it putting on a dress. So you can see the branches. There we go. All right, that looks better. Looks like it has branches now. I use some yellow, maybe some yellow down there. Maybe. Put some grass down here. I know at the beginning I said it was going to be a desert, but I'm going to put a little grass in here real quick. Ba-da-ba. All right. I've got some Indian yellow. I should have used that. Here, I'll use, this is Indian yellow here. Let me put a little bit in here just to brighten up some of those bushes a little bit. There we go. Ba-ba-ba. This is looking pretty good. Usually what I do when I'm done, when I shut the video off, then I put like twigs. Sometimes I'll put like twigs underneath the bushes so it looks like it has some branches. But there's a lot of things I do to the picture after I shut the video off. But this is looking pretty good. I think it needs some more trees. You know, it looked good in here, a birch tree. Have you guys seen me do a birch tree before? Daniel, how's it going? Good to see you. You probably saw my birch trees. I'm gonna do another birch tree because I like to have I like to put something in the foreground here. Maybe I think it'll work on this side here. Yeah, let's give it a try. do a birch tree. There we go. Wow. That came out pretty good. That came out pretty good. Let me put a few like stumps in here. Wow. Very cool. So now I get to put some bark on that tree. Some dogs. Bark, dog, bark. Maybe like a grayish. I'm going to make it gray. I'm going to have to move the camera. I think this will be the last thing I do because I think it's been over an hour. Yeah. Very cool. All right. What do you think of that tree? Right in the front. You're probably going, what's he doing? Putting a big black line right in front there. If you just joined in, when I started off, I was talking about a dry riverbed. This is, there's no water yet because the snow just started melting, so. We had a lot of these. I lived in New Mexico for a while. We had a lot of dry riverbeds, so that's why I did this painting. And New Mexico has the Rocky Mountains end down there in southern New Mexico. The last of the Rockies. They're called the Florida Mountains. Look at that. This will be the last time I'm changing the studio around today, so I have more room. I'm gonna be recording a little differently next time. So this will be the last time you see the setup like this. There's the painting I did yesterday. Up there. You could go watch that one. It's on the if you go to my channel and hit lives, you'll see all the lives I did in the past 3 weeks. I pretty much did one almost every day, I think. I got a lot of them on there. They all come out different too. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up. I'm probably going to end this one because it's been over an hour. There's I'm still going to do a little more on it, but I think I need another tree over here. Maybe some small ones back here, but it's looking pretty good. And I used Artist Loft. This is Michael's paint that I used on the whole painting. Artist Loft level 2. You can buy this at Michael's. Alright, there's the dance lights I'm leaving, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And I will see you on the next live. Cheers.